And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to Quick List Tarot. My name is Corey, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. This is a set of quick announcements, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open. Either message or email me directly, link is on main, and we'll set it up, okay? So, Sag, what are we looking at in this round of reads? At time of recording, this is near the end of June, going into July. So this is going to be your ATCs, or as I like to call them, as things change read. It used to be in the style of aces on top, tens on the bottom, just to show that cycle. But rather now, to make it easy on myself, I wanted to try having the fives out. Fives in the tarot card deck represent cards of conflict. Each of every element, water, earth, fire, and air, cups, pentacles, wands, and swords, respectively. Instead of, eventually coming to what the problem is, we dive straight into it. And hopefully the intention here is to glean some type of insight immediately. What can we get out of that when we're not afraid to look, right? So as a preamble to your read, Sag, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times it becomes difficult to understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you and mislead you. Trust me, I got to work with 12 signs and none of the time to lie to any of them. Instead, we lay our cards out on the table, and good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it, because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one, yeah? So follow along with me in your read today, Sagittarius, your ATC read, and yeah, let's see what the cards say. We will start with the Five of Cups over here. Show us cards we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in this read. What are the cards we need to see, please, for Sag in this read today? Well, that was quick. And all in the reverse. Okay, makes sense. Let's start. Queen of Cups. Whereas this the Queen of Cups upright, representing the fulfilled heart, the most endeared version of ourselves. What can we give? What do we have to offer? In the reverse, Queen of Cups has nothing left to give, right? I can no longer offer this. This is not healthy or conducive for anybody anymore. I don't want to be here. Ten of Wands. Normally the burdens that rest with us, that stay with us, the things that we carry on our back. In the reverse, we have to come to a state of letting it go. Chariot, card of Cancer, the fastest moving card in the deck, that which represents the flow of a journey, things being kicked up to the umpteenth degree. In the reverse, some aspect or journey has come to a complete and absolute halt, right? And the best thing, the reason I'm saying all this happening underneath your Five of Cups, what's getting at you right now, Sag, is that if I don't cut this off, it's going to devour me, right? If I don't, call it quits for whatever circumstances this is, Sag. Again, I haven't identified that. I just know how you feel about it because we're underneath the card of water. If I don't call it quits here and where it is, it's going to eat me alive, right? I have to accept the fact and let this go. This is what is best for me here and now, okay? Next to the Five of Pentacles. So those cards we need to see, please, upon the Five of Pentacles in this read. Well, about feeling left out and left behind. So I know there has to be a material justification for it. Show us cards we need to see, please, upon the Five of Pentacles for Sagittarius in this read today, please. Yep, that's great. Queen of Wands. Okay. And why the Queen of Wands? Two of Cups. And the Five of Cups. Okay. I'm reading this in two directions. both having the same exact lesson to be learned. But I get the feeling that, as opposed to other times when the two directions kind of situation happens, these two are intertwined for you. Remember, all that's underneath the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles representing the idea of being materially left out or left behind. I see this both as being career-oriented, but also potentially romantic partner oriented. Here's why. The Queen of Wands, we still want to make it work, right? We still want to show the best of us, give what we got, and we're not willing to let go, even though all the signs have probably shown us that we probably should. Two of Cups being sharing more of ourselves, trying to make it work out. Maybe there's still some spark left between us. Maybe there's still some hope left in this scenario at my job that I might have gotten let go of. X number of scenarios. Problem that I have here is the Five of Cups, right? Five of Cups here coming out is that, and we can refer to the Five of Cups back here, we feel left out and still want to contribute to something that we feel has abandoned us. Why? We got that you were sad about it, and that's why you came to a determining conclusion. Emotionally, we gotta let this go. But tangibly, we're doing nothing to actually show that. Right? We're not letting go. And the problem that I have with that is that you keep giving the best to something that's not beneficial for your life anymore. I don't know what connection this is or what opportunity this is for you, Sag, and what your reasons for keeping them are. But the more you keep it, even though you know you have to let this go for your own well-being, the more it will eat at you. There is no in between. Okay? Going to the Five of Wands, your home element of fire. So when we engage with direct conflict, what does it show us? Show us cards we need to see, please, upon the Five of Wands and Sagittarius read. Still more reverse. Okay. So the reality is you had Three of Wands and the King of Cups both coming out in the reverse here. Let's get one more. The cards we need to see, please, for Sag in this read. One more. Oh, I ended up drawing two. I'll take two. Yep. Five of Wands. Interesting that that's coming out under your Five of Wands, but we'll see why in a second. And then you pull Temperance. The card of Sagittarius. The conflict is showing ever more clearly, we need to stop investing. That Three of Wands normally looking towards the expectation of the horizon, right? What could be the potential behind everything that's being shown. In the reverse, saying, nah, I can't see it. I'm not going to do the math behind it. It's not worth it. The King of Cups in the reverse, whereas the King of Cups is emotionally fulfilled, knows if the proper investment of what they can give themselves to realistically, how they can manage that, etc. In the reverse, I mean, it's a nice theory, but in practice, I got to work for me now, right? You have nothing left to give. And I think that it was hitting you with that Five of Cups here, but it's just only being reiterated by the amount of conflict that it's causing. Then the Five of Wands, the more we don't listen to it, the more it gets reaffirmed every single time. It's a very tight feedback loop. So when we put all that out there, Sag, what's left to say is, earning the Temperance, how do we put ourselves first? Seriously. Because what I'm looking at is a conflict that you're not letting go of. And that's causing a lot of either the misery, the anguish, or the bad effects to happen. Sure. The question isn't if you're doing that, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen so many repeating patterns across your read already. What I am more concerned with is the why. What is preventing you from moving on and moving forward, right? Last, to the Five of Swords. Show us cards we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in this read upon the Five of Swords. What of the internal monologue? What is happening for Sag and their ATC? Ace of Pentacles. Okay, why so? Page of Pentacles. And what's keeping us from that? Judgment. There we go. Okay, yeah. And underneath it all, Nine of Swords. We are too afraid to change. We are too afraid to change or too stubborn to do so, at least in our current moment. That is okay. I need you to accept all of yourself before we try to do any form of changing or adapting, right? The reason I'm saying this, Sag, is because underneath your Five of Swords representing the conflict of the internal monologue, oftentimes leading to self-sabotage. We have the Ace and Page of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles always represents solid opportunity that is ready and available to you. The Page of Pentacles then representing the willingness to try. Here, do something different and do something new. Given the context of the read, we're not changing. Thing is, the reason why all this is happening, judgment. Judgment is coming up. Judgment is asking you, okay, you say you want different, but you do absolutely nothing to change. You can say all these affirmations that you want to, materially, you keep doing the same thing. Keep going back to the situation, going back to a relationship, going back. Whereas the universe is trying to get rid of it for you. You're keeping it alive, right? And so judgment, the more you feed into it instead of cutting the cord and letting it go, the more it's going to get worse. It's bound to get worse because we're not listening, right? We're seeing the new as too scary to even entertain or see, rather than saying, maybe I'm being moved here for a certain type of reason. Maybe there is purpose here if I can find it and go for it. But because we're operating from a space of fear and by extension a space of desperation, Sagittarius, all this, we can say what we feel and how, we wish things were different, but we're being pushed out of these scenarios, out of these relationships, out of these potentially employment, whatever that means for you right now, Sag. And if it's a combination of all three, hey, there you go. We're being pushed out of these scenarios for a reason. It's because there's new and much better waiting for you if you're willing to take a leap. Right now, it's not that you couldn't change, it's that you're not doing it. And whatever's sparking that internal fear, that's what you need to actually say out loud. Not trying to say all the affirmations wherever you want to try to dull the pain, but rather the Nine of Swords saying, no, say what makes you scared. And why does it make you scared? And after we establish that you're scared, go do it anyways, right? Next, can we get a card underneath every 5 in this read? Show us cards we need to see, please, for Sag in this read today. They're ATC. We start underneath the 5 of Cups. Ten of Cups. Right. The reason why we're so pained to let this go, because this was what we once thought should have been our harmony, should have been our peace, should have been our space, right? We were so dead set in the idea that this is what it's supposed to be, all it's cracked up to be, all that it could be, that it hurts every second that we had to contemplate letting go, okay? Now to the 5 of Pentacles, King of Wands. Yeah. We know what's better for us. The King of Wands can always make a better, brighter, and more grandiose decision. The thing is, we're actively choosing not to because we feel like it's almost the affirmation that, oh, this is all over. Rather than saying, no, maybe this is a new beginning. But we're not in the space to accept that yet. Next to the 5 of Wands, 2 of Cups. This was supposed to match. This was supposed to work. Why isn't it working? Maybe if I go back to it for the 17th time, it's going to work. No. What we thought was originally a really good fit for us, maybe there's something else out there for us if we're brave enough to look. And the 5 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, Mastery. Here, we have a lot of skills and tools in our toolkit. We have the capacity to make the change. We know we probably should and or need to. Thing is, we're not doing it. Because we're not doing it, we're actually keeping the cycle open. Underneath it all, Page of Swords. observation, or hopefully the learning and accruement of lessons, right? We're not paying attention to what our fears are, but it's also making us operate from our fears. It's going in a circle. We're creating our own feedback loop here. We're running away from our fear. Our fear is now controlling us. We're operating in tandem with that. It only hurts us again. And we keep on repeating that cycle. What do we do then to break it? We listen for the new opportunities that are held elsewhere and go for them. Okay? Last, as we move towards resolution, define the major arcana sitting across the table in this read for Sagittarius. We will start with the Chariot in reverse, the card of Cancer. Why has the journey, or at least where we were, come to a screeching halt? Show us cards we need to see, please. Six of Pentacles. Interesting that in the notion of everyday investment is what's causing the pain. However, if you can invest every day here, then if you have more days to go, you can spend those every days doing something different, right? Put a screeching halt to this. Particularly, this is what's resonating for you most right now, Sag, is business oriented. Stop hoping that job or anything will come back. Start looking for new. Start looking for what do I know I'm good enough to do, and then do more, because you are, right? If I can invest that much into my everyday for what I was working and what I was doing, then me losing it shouldn't define me. Me being able to create, that is what's more important. Okay, next to Temperance. Well, I drew two, so I'll take two. And I got the Page of Wands and the Three of Wands, both fire underneath fire. The optimism that we can one day put ourselves first. And the only reason I say that, Sag, is because the Three of Wands, it shoots farther than your present tense, so it looks off in the distance. And that Page of Wands that, yeah, things can and will get better. Or we can fast track that and start to confront the more deeper things and try to let that go. Next to Judgment. Nine of Swords, right. It's all behind you encountering your fears here and now. You could have different, you could have a lot better, but underneath Judgment is that Nine of Swords. We're moving and operating from a space of desperation or fear, and therefore we're not manifesting anything but that. And the more we choose to stay with what does not want us, the more it's going to kick us back harder until we have no choice but to leave, and even worse for wear. Okay? Resolution. Six of Cups. The promise of self. Here, I don't necessarily just read it as a soul bond or a soul partner energy. If you even believe in that, hey, there you go. Six of Swords. Moving on. If you're moving on from a connection, moving on from a person, moving on from a situation, you gotta get moving. Don't look back. Underneath it all, Seven of Swords, right. All is not as appears on the surface, or self-detrimental behaviors that don't match what we are verbalizing. We have to learn the lesson that we could say whatever we want to out loud. As long as we're operating from fear, we're not producing anything that matches up to what we could be doing. What we're seeing in this read, Sag, I'm looking at somebody who, let's be honest, is having a hard time letting go. Because they're having a hard time letting go, it's actually creating a lot more misery than necessary. And the lesson here ultimately is not to hold on and hope for better, but let go and get higher, get more. Long story short, as long as we operate from fear, we're only going to get less, and it's only going to get worse. Okay, so that's why I got in your read today, Sag. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, is it easy to let go? No, but sometimes it's even more difficult to stay still. I'll see you around. Okay, take care.